Hi, my name is Tom, and I'm excited to welcome you again on this platform where I share on thoughts about leadership. I believe leadership is a life skill, and for that reason, I'm starting a new series which I call Leadership Lessons. And in this video series, what I'll be doing is just sharing my own experiences in life and how these apply to the subject of leadership. Today, I'm going to be talking about what music has taught me about leadership. I hope you find it as insightful as I have found it. Let's get right in. First of all, the love for me with music started many years ago, probably when I was around 6 or 7. And it started with me just observing my mom in the house, singing songs. She was a lover of music. She loved singing. She had a good voice as well. She loved singing, and it just rubbed off on me. I guess in addition to that, I also was indoctrinated into Sound of Music and Sister Act, and watching those movies just pretty much emphasized more to me the beauty of music. I therefore evolved into what you might call a shower singer, the person that would just be in the shower singing to himself and having a great time. I would say public singing didn't start for me until university, or what some might call college. And then I started singing within a group, and I realized that I actually wasn't quite bad at it, and I enjoyed, singing within this group. And this continued for many years. I would say probably about 10, 12 years. At some point in my public singing journey, I actually started singing with a group and became a lead singer within that group, and also leading that group as well. And those taught me some things on leadership that I'll be talking about shortly. But maybe just to add to that, that as I found my space in singing, I was a lead singer as well, and also a bass singer in the choir. So I loved singing bass, and I think even till now I can sing the Hallelujah chorus bass line by heart. So you see, I'm not doing too badly. Fast forward a bit more again, I started actually composing songs. And some of those songs were rendered by the group that I was leading at the time. And it was a great privilege to see songs that I composed become, what everyone in the group was singing, and the people we sang to as well. That was really a great opportunity for me. One of the songs I would say I was very excited to have composed and rendered was the song I sang for my wife at our wedding. I composed the song. All through our courtship, she kept asking me to compose a song for her. I kept hiding under the guise of no inspiration. So wedding day, I didn't have anywhere to escape to anymore. Thankfully, a song came to mind. I was able to put it together with a few friends. We put the melody, we put the instrumentalists. And when I sang it at the wedding day, I'm sure you know what happened. The romantic atmosphere just shifted. And I've rendered that song many times since our marriage. Our kids have heard me sing the song, friends have heard me sing the song, and it always is a hit with my wife. So you can see that in my journey of music, there are one or two things I've learned about music, which I now want to bring into the subject of leadership. I love music, I love leadership. So very recently, I was asking myself, are there no lessons from my journey of music that I can begin to bring to share in leadership? And hopefully some people might find that helpful. So I wanted to share a few things around music that can be applied to leadership. The first one is what I call melody. Now, if you're familiar with music, you would know that melody is the main tune that a song has. And the melody is like the anchor that vocalists, instrumentalists sort of stay on to ensure that that music remains music and doesn't transition into what some might call noise. Now, melody in music, I believe, can be likened to vision in leadership. Just the same way the melody anchors the choir, the group into the song, the vision anchors the members. And when I say vision, that might be a fancy word for purpose, objective, aim. What are you seeking to achieve as a group? It needs to be clear to every member of the team. When they know this, then they can follow you clearly, and there isn't any form of noise within that group. So vision clarity for me is very similar to melody. When I was leading those groups, I realized that not everybody actually can be on the same key with ease. So they needed help, they needed guidance, they needed coaching. But with all those reinforcements, everybody eventually got the tune, got the melody, and we're on the same line. Same with leadership. The second lesson that I learned from music that I want to bring into leadership is harmony. Now, when I talk about harmony, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but this is the complementary sounds in music that brings out that melodious, beautiful sound that we hear. The basic parts of a harmony are soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And these bring out, like I said, a very beautiful sound, and you're able to really enjoy the song on a deeper level. Now, if I bring that again into leadership, what that shows me is everyone has their skill, everyone has the talents, the gifts that they bring into the team. And a good leader knows how to deploy people to where their strengths are to bring out the strength in them. Let me expand what I mean. Remember I said earlier that I finally found my own voice range and that I sing bass. Sometimes I try to sing tenor, but majorly I sang bass in the groups that I was part of. Now, one of the things we did when people came into the group was we tested them on the scale and we tried to find what is called their voice range. Now, a voice range is not something that you choose. It's not something that you say, this is what I want to be. No, it's what you have. And a good music director or music leader knows how to identify that range and help you make the most of that range. Now, the same way as a leader, you need to recognize that all the people coming into your team have strengths. And just the same way, if you put somebody that has a tenor range in soprano, the person will struggle. The same way, when you take somebody that is supposed to be a salesperson and you put them in a finance team as an example, they're going to struggle. As a leader, my question to you is, are you aware of the strengths and talents that your team members have? Have you intentionally deployed those talents and skills into the best roles that fit them? So harmony tells me that a leader needs to know how to deploy team members to where they would do well. Now, another lesson I've learned from music is the balance of the vocalists and the band or the instrumentalists. As I mentioned before, I was more of a singer, but I will tell you this without a shadow of doubt, that when only the vocalist sang, it was good in its own way, but it didn't create the best of sounds. When the instrumentalist complemented us with the right volume, the right flow, the right complementation at all levels, we had such a great, beautiful sound that all the people in the crowd, in the audience really enjoyed what we sang. Now, how do I bring this into leadership? It's recognizing that every team member brings a unique value to the team. And the complementary skills of everybody put together produces something bigger than one person on their own. So your sales team is important, but also is your finance team. The front office is important, but also your back office. As a leader, you don't want to over-exalt one team at the detriment of another team, or one person at the detriment of another person. Recognizing that the complementary skills everybody brings that good music that you now enjoy for your team. Now, the last lesson I want to share with you that music has taught me about leadership is timing. Now, timing is what you might refer to as the rhythm, the beat of music. There's usually a rhythm and a beat that music goes. And just like melody, I have found that sometimes not everybody can stay on beat. This is really, I laugh because many pictures from my past experiences are just coming to mind right now. So what I found out is this, that although majority of people actually have what I would refer to as an intuitive sense of timing, some people don't. And any good music leader has learned how to bring different support system to help people sort of stay on beat. Sometimes they bring in the clapping of the hands. Sometimes they introduce a bit of dancing to the left and to the right. More recent times, we have what is called a metronome that actually just sends a certain kind of beat rhythm into your ear directly. The drums also help, the bass line also help, all keeping you in rhythm. Now, what does timing link to in leadership for me? It will be culture. Now, culture is very insidious, just like timing. You may not even know that it's there. I love the phrase from Peter Drucker. He says, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Now, what does that mean? It means that when culture is not well tuned, forget about your strategy, forget about what you have, the culture is going to mess things up. So the same way for you as a leader, you want to be mindful of what culture you have within your team. Culture evolves from you, first of all, as leader and the other leaders in the team. Now, if that culture is not what you want to see, then you want to learn how to begin to redirect that. Just that for the music group, when they're going faster than what you want, there are ways you can bring them down to the tempo and the timing that you want. The same way a leader knows how to redirect culture for the benefit of the team. Now, here are 4 lessons that I've shared of what music has taught me about leadership. And now here's my one action point for you. I would like you to reflect on these 4 things. Melody, which speaks to vision. Harmony, which speaks to the fact that you want to recognize the talent that each of your team member brings. The vocalist and the band, which speaks to the complementary skills and the fact that the synergy comes when everybody's doing their role well. And finally, the 4th one on timing, which talks about culture. Reflect on them. Identify that one that your team needs to do better and apply the tips I've talked about in here. I wish you all the very best along your journey. And remember, It's not the knowledge that you have in your head that makes the difference. It's the knowledge that you apply. So remember to take action. Bye for now.